What's going on, everybody? It's your boy GemMint back again with another recent reads. And yes, I actually read another omnibus, although I kind of cheated a little bit because it's a minibus. What happened was I walked down to the library. I was taking a glance to see what I wanted to read, what would really speak out to me, and the Deadpool minibuses caught my eye. I started to think about how the new Deadpool 3 movie is coming out and how they may borrow pieces or maybe the whole storyline from Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. That story and some of the other Deadpool miniseries that I wanted to read are in Volume 1, so I had to start with Volume 0 first. Now, when it comes to publishing, I think Volumes like 1 and 2 came out first, then they doubled back for this Volume 0 and then continued with Volume 3 or something along those lines. I'm pretty sure these are published prior to those miniseries in Volume 1, which is why they did that. But I read this and it was a good thing. It got me back into the bug of reading. So we'll go over this and then I'll give you my final thoughts and what I plan to read in the future. So go ahead and hit that like button if you're digging these videos. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and let's get into it. All right, so here we have the cover of the dust jacket for the Minibus Volume 0. The creators on the bottom: Benson, Glass, Hastings, Lehman. I got to be honest, it wasn't a lot of familiar names on this book, but here we have the artwork. It kind of reminded me of like an ASM 129 homage. Here we have the spine, Deadpool logo, Minibus Volume 0. So one of the few Omnis that doesn't say Omnibus. It has something kind of similar. Creative team again, Deadpool on the bottom. And then on the back, we get from the Suicide Kings miniseries, the AF-15 homage, Spider-Man and Deadpool, and everything that it collects. So, minibus because it's a smaller omnibus with miniseries collected within. So, Suicide Kings 1 through 5, Deadpool, Wade Wilson's War, issues 1 through 4, Deadpool Pulp 1 through 4. You get Amazing Spider-Man Annual 38, Deadpool Annual 1, and Incredible Hulk's Annual 1 for a little 3-part story. And then it ends with a Fear Itself Deadpool 1 through 3 miniseries. This one came out with a $75 cover price. So the inside of the dust jacket has a little Deadpool explaining all the little miniseries that I just mentioned. We get a short biography on the creators. The hardcover has the Deadpool logo giving you a little wink. Spine just has the Deadpool logo and just an all black background here. So let's jump into the Omni. You got those nice red burgundy cover pages. Nice splash page here. This one is from the Fear Itself storyline, but ironically, you don't really see or get any of those characters in the story. So here are the credits. Kind of acts like a table of contents. It's breaking down the creative team on Suicide Kings, then Wade Wilson's War, Deadpool Pulp. Again, all those miniseries. Jumping into Suicide Kings, tells this story of Deadpool taking on a mercenary job from the this billionaire's son. There's a couple of twists and turns on who's actually responsible for all the destruction, and it's essentially a Tombstone as a villain story. It does include the Punisher and Spider-Man as well. Outlaw is in a few of these miniseries, which was kind of funny to see. Here we see Tombstone. He's the main villain. He's got the billionaire's son kind of being held ransom. He's trying to take down Spider-Man. Deadpool humor throughout, so there's always two voices in Deadpool's head that's acting as the narrator, and Deadpool knows he's in a comic book. He's talking to us as the reader many times. So you can see the artwork, modern, early 2010s Marvel, goofy team up. Punisher comes through using other villains' weapons during this series, so he comes through looking like Joker dressed up as the Batman at the end here. Here's the Tombstone kind of finale. So basically, it's like a 5-issue Marvel team up versus the Tombstone, and it's kind of funny how they make fun of each other's villains in this series. And Spider-Man points out the fact that Deadpool doesn't really have any nemesis, but I mean, he gets laid at the end of this series, and then it jumps into Wade Wilson's War. So this kind of feels like the original Deadpool movie, or maybe was it even Wolverine Origins, borrowing from like the Weapon X team that Deadpool was on early on in his career. It kind of shows how he was this merc in the late 70s and how he was putting in these missions with Silver Sable and Bullseye, and he was on this kind of black ops team and he's telling the Senate about it right now. I guess he's on trial or something along those lines. And as he's telling the story, it feels very much like a Joker story. Like, you're not really sure what's the truth and what Deadpool is just making up, lying to Congress about. It was a fun series. I enjoyed Suicide Kings, and I did like the Wade Wilson's War stuff. Then we get into Deadpool Pulp #1. This is the series that has the Jay Lee covers, which are beautiful, and it reads like an Ed Brubaker Deadpool origin story. So stuff with him as Wade Wilson before he became Deadpool, before the Weapon X program, how he was kind of a merc and he enjoyed killing even at a young age. And here he goes right here, Wade Wilson. Kind of just made him look like a regular guy. He gets the Deadpool outfit from one of the enemies I believe they were fighting here. Pretty cool story. And you could even tell by the art and the way that it's laid out, it feels like one of those crime noir stories. Hence the title of the book here, Deadpool Pulp. And it's very much like Secret Agent, James Bond 007 stuff with Outlaw. So this is where she jumps into the story again. Then in these annuals, we get this story called Identity Wars. So it's a multiverse story. We end up in this different universe where Peter Parker is the Spider, and he's the only hero in this world. Everybody loves him. Villains back down from him. Deadpool accidentally gets transferred over there with Bruce Banner, a Bruce Banner that has gotten rid of the Hulk, and with Spider-Man. Now, the only problem is this Batman version of Spider-Man where he's got his own layer called the Web, and he's rich, and this multiverse has a version of Uncle Ben that's alive, but him being alive and the events that led up to makes Aunt May a very different person who has a different relationship with Peter. So actually a nice early kind of multiverse story where we get Deadpool and we get Death Wish, or Dead Wish, is it? Funny enough, the villains in here end up being a Wade Wilson that became Doctor Doom in this universe. So it's a pretty cool story, and then it involves the Hulk, right? So then you have this multiverse's version of the Hulk who has been in hell and has transformed into this hellish version of Hulk. And Bruce Banner of this world has become the Sorcerer Supreme. And what's funny is it ends with this Ghost Rider thing, or Ghost Spider, I should say, which was like a PlayStation Spider-Man skin. But that's the same name that Gwen Stacy ended up using, Ghost Spider. That's pretty funny. So that was a cool little series, that 3-issue series. Then the Fear Itself Deadpool. So Fear Itself was a Marvel event that was going on at the time when I first got back into reading comic books, and I never read that arc. Apparently it had a lot to do with hammers falling down from space and giving people powers. Somehow Deadpool decides to give one of these found hammers to a villain, the Walrus, to have him attack a city in Mexico so that he can take a job to take down the Walrus and basically get paid to be the savior of this city. Got this punk kid. It almost reads like a Mad Magazine comic book, this last issue, or last series. So those are the stories that you get in the Minibus Volume 0. In the back, you do have an interview from the Suicide Kings team. Then you have a wraparound cover in the back. We get some variant covers from Wade Wilson's War, from Deadpool Pulp. Then we get some scripts from Deadpool Pulp, along with some of the pages that they coincide with. Here we have progress pictures on a connecting cover for the Spider-Man, Hulk, Deadpool annual Identity Crisis tie-in, and then like little previews for next issues in those annuals. Then we we end it with a closing page, Deadpool as Gallagher, smashing the watermelon on the Walrus. This video is brought to you by ThatSpidermanBooth.com. Their September subscription box is now live. So what do you get with the subscription box? 5 comic books, both store exclusives and random comics. You get a 50% off homepage product discount with free shipping. And of course, the variant that's exclusive to this box for September, which is a Do You Poo Ninja Funk homage by Alex Cormack. Make sure to head on over to ThatSpidermanBooth.com and sign up for that subscription box today. All right, so that's the first minibus in our Deadpool minibus read-through, and I did enjoy it. It was a super fast read. I kind of like just knocking out little arcs, then putting the book down, doing something else, and then coming back to it. I enjoyed all of these stories, even though some were more of a serious tone, like Deadpool Pulp, which I really dug. And then you had stuff like Fear Itself Deadpool, which, like I said, felt like I was reading something out of Mad Magazine. a lot of this stuff felt like they borrowed elements from these stories for the movies, for Wolverine Origins, or even the first Deadpool movie. There was a little nod in there that I feel like Ryan Reynolds borrowed from one of these series. Drop me a comment down below. What are some Omnis or some stories that you'd like to see me read and review on the channel? And maybe we'll pick one of those for something next, man. So thanks for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace out.